Ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of AIM, where we agitate, innovate, and motivate so that you can be great. Today is a very special episode for me because I'm going to talk about returning to the true self, doing what you were truly designed to do in this life and not what the world and others expect of you. So I am going to dive right in. I intentionally have on my work hard, play hard hat and work hard, play hard shirt, because for me, that is the epitome of how I have lived my life. I have worked very, very hard, as depicted by this wall and so many other things that most people don't even know about. Like, for example, I don't know if people, there's a whole bunch of certificates about crisis management. I was a FEMA rescuer. I did a lot of stuff. I worked at psychotrauma. I did a lot of things. I did individual crisis and support. I did a lot of things. I was the Speaker of the Year for Jimmy Carter's Habitat for Humanity. I was Speaker of the Year for DC Public Schools when I did the commencement address at Emory Elementary School. I have worked hard in service to others as a lawyer, as a minister, as a teacher, and as a coach. And at this point, the question becomes, what am I going to do for me in my twilight years? It is not selfish. It is returning to the true self. Because here's the honest truth. You can live your life for others, and 98% of them aren't even going to appreciate it. So at the end of the day, you give, and people take, and they are not responsive to the giver, except for as it pertains to them. So returning to your true self is that self that says, I can love you, but I'm not going to put you before me. Turning to your true self says, what is it that I really, really want to do, and not what has others asked me to do. For example, AIM started out as private coaching and training for businesses and small groups. I was asked to do the videos. And so I said, oh, okay, didn't really want to because I don't like social media. Most of you know you won't find me on any other platforms, and I'm barely on Facebook, and I only got on Facebook because my daughter created the account. So to monetize this and to reach the amount of people that others say that I need to reach, I would have to do things that I just simply do not want to do. Okay, they said, oh, you need to go live. Going live means that I have to sit in a certain place at a certain time every week. That's going to drive me crazy, and I'm just simply not going to do it because I am about to do some major traveling, and I have other things that I would rather be doing. I used to play the drums. Fun fact about me, I am going to return to playing the drums. I've already set up some drum lessons, and that's what I want to go do. It was fun for me. It had nothing to do with anybody else. It was for me. And traveling. I have set up my life to keep it exciting with certain goals. Go to all the continents, go to all 50 states, go to all the landmarks, and go to all of these major sporting events. Now, Will I in my lifetime do all of that? I will do all the continents and all the 50 states because I'm just about finished with those. I'm excited about that, and it keeps me going, and it is for me. And the question became, okay, if at 65 and a half, you're not going to start really living free and being free and doing your thing, boo, when are you going to start? And I pose that same question to you. And don't wait till you're 65. One of the young ladies on my team who's in her 30s, she's just getting back from London and Germany. And I said, I'm so proud of you for doing these things at a younger age. If you can, go see the world. Go do something for you. Return to your true self. It is not selfish. It is honest. Because at the end of the day, until you turn to your true self, you have been wearing a mask. We all have worn them. We all have on several different masks. The art and the psychology of taking them off is very, very scary. It's risky, but it is so rewarding. Just like change and growth. It's hard, and it can lead you to having periods of isolation. Listen, loneliness and being alone are not the same thing. There's so much power in being by yourself with the living God. You learn so much about who you are. And in your privacy, there's nobody to impress. There's nobody to trick or fool or manipulate. So what do you have to lose by being yourself and walking in your authenticity? When you do that, boom, life's gonna open up. I am very, very excited to be going to Egypt. I'm about to ride down the Nile River. I'm going to the Egyptian tombs. I'm going to the pyramids. I'm going to the Sphinx. I don't know if I'm gonna get on that hot air balloon, but the fact that what I want to do, I want to go get on the hot air balloon, and then I want to get off before they take off. I don't know if they're going to let me do that, but I'm going to try. I want to be on one. I don't think I can handle, as you all know, I almost got kicked out of the Marines because of some height issues. I have conquered that to a certain extent, but I don't know if I want to be in like a helicopter or a hot air balloon. But I just might do it because of the challenge of it and just overcoming that. But I have the option, and I'm excited about that. And I will also be going on a safari. I am very, 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 very excited. Which brings me back to doing these videos on AIM. Again, I feel more rewarded and I see more results with my private clients because you can really get down in the dirt and really, push and pull through some issues. And when you hear your clients say things like, I'm so glad I'm doing this. This is really helping me. This is changing my life. I already feel different. You're getting that feedback right in that moment, and you know what the next step needs to be. These videos are fine, but you watch them, you get a nugget. I'm not talking about just mine. I'm talking about everybody's. You get a nugget, and it's like, oh, okay, well, now what? And then there's no monitoring. Are these people really doing these things? Are they really walking by faith? Are they really reading the Bible more? You don't know because it's on a video. And I am absolutely not willing to be on all these social media platforms and uploading stuff every day and every week and being live. I'm not going to be here. When after my Egypt trip, I'm setting up a trip to Brazil and Australia, and I will be finished all of my continents. Then I'm going to Portugal and some other places in Europe. And I'm just getting ready to live. I was on the phone the other day with a young lady who is going to go to the Preakness with me in Baltimore because I want to see one of the Triple Crown races. Because again, all of the sporting events. I've gone to the Olympics. I've gone to the Olympic trials. I've been to a lot. I've been to the hockey championships. Not interested in doing that again. I mean, it was fun. They're in there fighting like they're in the boxing. It was wild, but it was freezing because they're on ice. I mean, I will go again. I'll just make sure I dress differently, but I've done it, so that's really not on my to-do list anymore. But my point is, when you start thinking about, I want to do X, I want to go here, I want to go there. And if you don't have the money, create something else to do. Go and some of you all are major artists. You can do something and you're not doing it. Go be true to yourself, because the climate we're living in, we don't know what's getting ready to happen next. So these things, and just every time when you're growing, every time you pull off another layer, there's something else down in here. So it's a lot of layers before you have to go through getting to the authentic you and getting to the binding of your subconscious and your conscious, the binding of your persona and your shadow with your true self. So when you start removing these masks and start asking yourself real questions, apart from everybody else, no husband, wife, child, the only person involved in that is God helping you to understand who you are, because he is the potter and we are the clay. He is our creator, so he knows us better than we do. And when we start looking at life through that lens, our decisions change. I remember when people used to always say to me, Deborah, you never let any grass grow under your feet. Well, I don't. I've always, and it has its, like everything in life, it has its negatives and it has its positives. Staying on your job your whole life, the same job, maybe some promotions within the job, maybe not. I've seen people be on the job 20, 25 years with no promotion. I can't do that. I'm not wired that way. And if you are, that's fine. My point is, we're all different, and each one of those personality types has its benefits. I have been in so many different work environments. I know what it takes to be a good supervisor and what a bad one is, because I've had a lot of them. And maybe you have too, but you've been in the same environment. I've been in almost every environment you can name. And I worked in the healthcare system, something people don't know. Most people know I worked in the university system at Georgia Tech and Howard. I've worked in law firms. I've worked in church. I've worked in a lot of different environments. I've worked in corporate America. I worked in large corporations. I worked in small corporations. And I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about people. There's a lot of, I'm just going to say, crooked things going on out here in the world and in these businesses. And I've been exposed to a lot of it. And because I didn't play ball, then I didn't fit in anymore, and they didn't want me there anymore. And it's like, well, that's fine, because I'm not selling my soul for some money. Because if I was going to do that, I would have did it when I was living on them streets, and I didn't. So if that didn't get me to do it, I can't imagine the scenario that would. But what does get me to returning to my true self and being honest with me. Deborah, do this, Deborah, do that, Deborah, do this, Deborah, do that. No, not if it doesn't fit what I want to do, not anymore. We hang around people and we do things and we go places that do not align with who we really are, because we want to fit in, because we don't want nobody mad and all of that. I'm not doing that anymore ever again on this side of Jordan, because I don't know how much time I have left, and I'm going to spend it being true to me. I am going to spend it being true to my relationship with God and God alone. If someone imposes their thoughts, their ideas on me, and they don't align with what God and I have decided is my true self, then I'm not doing it. And I know most people are nowhere near that. A lot of people, you can't even get them out of toxic relationships, and that's not a judgment. But what I am saying is if you can't find your way out of a toxic relationship, if you can't love yourself enough to do that, then you can't do this. You can't. How? When you're still under somebody else's thumb, when you're still under somebody else's thoughts and manipulation, you just simply cannot do it. I personally need to be free. I don't want to be stuck somewhere. I don't want to have to be somewhere. That is the whole point of retirement, is to be free. I have worked hard and now I am about to play harder. Okay? From now on, life is my playground. Whatever that means, I'm going to go get it. I'm getting ready to go have a ball. I am very, very excited about my upcoming trip. I leave next week and I'm going to be gone for a minute, and I don't want to have to do a whole bunch of episodes. That's what I do when I travel. I do a whole bunch of episodes, and then I have my daughter download them put the timer on and all of that. Well, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to spend my time doing what I love. Running, coaching track and life coaching, doing some work with some businesses, because that's where my heart is. And I'm going to be out of here. They're having a lot of problems with the airlines. They're having problems in the world. Like, it's getting ready to get crazy. If we're not going to be true to ourselves now, then when? Most people go to their grave never really being honest and true to themselves. So I admonish you to sit down, make a list. I've had this list a long, long time ago. That's why I'm almost finished. Long before the bucket list came out. Everybody says, oh, that's your bucket list. I never called it that. I was doing this before that movie came out, and I was always challenging other people. Where have you been? Have you been to the 50 states? Oh, I have never been anywhere. And then when you sit with them, they have been about 12, 15, 20 states and never even realized it. Well, I realize it because I have a map in my house, and I take a pen and I put it on where I have been. And that map is looking really, really good. And I'm really, really excited. I'm excited about my track team. It's growing. People are losing weight. People are hitting marks that they never thought they can hit. People are running events that starting events in their 60s. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. We have people who are ranked in the nation, number 2 in the nation, about to be number 1. A lot of us had to heal, including me. I just had a procedure, not a surgery. It wasn't a surgery, no knives involved, to help me with my knee. And when my knee gets right, it's getting ready to be on. I was doing well with the knee busted up. So these are the things that I love. These are the things that I want to do. There's a lot of travel involved with track and field and what we're doing. So I will be going a lot of places to run all over the world, all over the country. I'm excited about that. I am going to hit those states. My goal is before next year is out, I am going to have all of my 50 states done. I have 3 of the 5 that's left already planned, already in motion. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to beat on some drums. I like decorating people's houses. I'm going to start promoting that. I love fixing up a house and the furniture and what goes on the wall and what should be over here and what should be over there. And so I am going to do some of that. I have people who have asked me to do it, and I am going to do it for monetary gain. So I will have money coming in from sources and things that I actually love, and not something that's going to have me bogged down. I can't be bogged down. I have never been bogged down. I will jump up and move to another state. As you all know, I will change a job. I was doing that when I really, really needed to be stationary. So if I did it then, I'm most certainly getting ready to do it now. So this is my last episode of AIM. I have worked hard. Now I'm going to play hard. I am going to play hard. And I'm very excited about my play. I'm setting a whole lot of things up. And I challenge you to do the same. I am 65 years old. And I want to know, if I'm not going to do it now, then when? And we don't know what our world is about to look like. So I challenge you to do the same thing. Sit down and ask yourself, what is it that I really wish I had done in life? And start making plans to do it. You will be surprised how the universe will start lining up to bless you. When you say you want to do something and you really put God in it and you pray over it, it might take a while. I've been trying to get to Egypt for well over 20 years, and I'm leaving next week. Hey, come on, God. And I'm leaving next week. Come on, Jesus. I've been wanting to ride down the Nile. It's just like when I went to Italy. I've been wanting to be on that gondola in Venice since I read about it at Spelman College in an English class. And that day came. It came. Because I never stopped wanting it. I didn't say, oh, I'm never going to get that, or I'm never going to be able to, when am I going to have the time? When am I going to have this? I ain't never, I didn't have a retirement party. I'm having a retirement trip. I'm going on a 20-day cruise that's going to all kinds of countries, and I'm going to be balling out of control. I don't have to be back. I don't have any obligations. Everything that I'm obligated to do with my clients, we will set that up and make arrangements for our meetings. And that's the only commitments that I actually have to do. But I want to. I love that. So that's not a burden to me. And not only do my clients understand, they're going to be going on some of these trips with me if they want to, because they need to get up and go too. So, everybody in the sound of my voice, you've been watching the news. You know the climate. Get to living. Go do what you really, really want to do. Where are you getting the money for these trips? Well, first of all, I go when it's a discounted price. I mean, you still gonna have to shovel out thousands of dollars, but it's not gonna be like some of these trips are $7,000. I'm finding them for $3,000. So I found a trip for $2,000. Like what? A trip that's normally $5,000. So and if you don't have the money to do that, what do you have the money to do? Where can you go? Where can you get in your car and drive to? Take a cross-country trip and stop at all these different states and have yourself some fun and look at all the different cultures. The United States is so very, very rich. I have been blown away by what I've discovered in a lot of these other states. For some of them, it feels like I went out the country. It's very, very different. But there are those of us who will never leave our communities, never leave our neighborhoods, never leave our state. And that's fine if that's how you want to live. But I want to live in a space where I can lay, and I used to say this to my children all the time, when I lay on my deathbed, I will not be laying there with regrets. I will be laying there with very, very fond memories. And I will be laying there very proud of myself, of all the things that I have accomplished, all the people I have helped, all the work that I've done on myself, and mostly the relationship that I built with the living God, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. I thank you for watching all of these episodes of AIM. If they helped you, go back and rewatch them. They will remain on YouTube. I will just not be doing any further videos because in my heart of hearts, I wasn't doing this because I really wanted to. I was doing it because I was asked to, and it's not what I really want to do. So I am going to be the example of being true to myself. And I'm going to get to live in. Let's go. Let's go. Aim. YouTube, signing off, but not signing off for personal training and personal coaching. But for these videos, signing off. And thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the AIM podcast. We hope you have takeaways to help you effectively aim. Don't forget to follow us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Deborah A. Borges 1. Also, be sure to visit our website at deborah.aborges.com to schedule events and request coaching or training. If you'd like to support the podcast, contributions are greatly appreciated through Zelle, Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. We look forward to having you back next week for another exciting episode of AIM. Until then, take care and keep aiming high.